just glad my jersey's gonna hold up for another few years.
That's why I didn't buy one. That's why I didn't buy one. You bought one. I was like, I
did.
don't know.
I bought one.
I was like, I'm
First
not
of all,
doing it. I can buy
got
one now.
during. I have never had a Ravens jersey. Never owned one. And then Lamar was a fun player to watch. Everybody was hyped up. 2019 was like a glorious year.
Yeah.
And I was like, hell yeah, dude. Getting a jersey.
You got to see, you took the bait.
This is the year,
Took
dude.
the bait.
And so I locked in, and I'm feeling pretty good about my investment right about now. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you good?
Yeah, man, I'm great.
Okay, so episode 55.
55. I don't know. I'm trying to think, man. I try to come up with an athlete that has the number.
The number 55. It seems like an easy thing to research on the front end, but you chose not to do it.
I try to go off memory. Yeah, just can't.
So this week, Elijah Craig is the bottle of choice. Now, this is a very straightforward whiskey. I'm sure you've had Elijah Craig. I've had Elijah Craig. I'm sure Josh has had it. We've all probably had it.
I probably have. I don't know.
Yeah. This is not like a deep cut. This is not anything odd.
I'm sure I have.
I just went with it. I saw it. I feel like the last couple of bottles.
You made an executive decision.
Yeah, the last couple of bottles have just been, not bad, but they've been kind of weird oddities.
You've been ready to you want to.
So I was like, let's just do something simple. Let's not do anything crazy.
We missed last week.
Let's just ease into it.
Yeah, let's not have any surprises.
Yeah. So it's got a nice little wooden cap topper there for anybody who's not had Elijah Craig, is not familiar with it. Yeah.
You didn't do your
what?
Yeah.
Oh, the pop.
Yeah.
It didn't have a super satisfying pop, if I'm being honest.
No.
It's okay. It's a little low. It's
Yeah,
not like
it's
doesn't have that high tone that we're normally looking for. But there's very little on our notes list this week. I don't even know if there's any. I'm not sure I updated it. So we're just going to kind of freestyle a little bit through the episode. I can kick things off with saying that I did finally watch Ant-Man.
Okay.
Quantumania.
How did that go for you?
It was subpar is what I would say. I understand why it did not fare so well in the reviews. Mm-hmm. And I feel as if I've come to a little bit of a consensus on the Marvel, phase that we're in as a whole. It's all very weird. Yeah. And I think that it's very abstract, and I feel as if the stories and the character arcs are
their own
complex and very, you got to really be a Marvel fan, I think, to appreciate and really know where we're going. That's just my
you're very right.
Perception of it.
Absolutely agree.
And I watched it with Emily. Emily's a big Marvel fan of the movie.
You watched it at home, or did you?
Yeah, at home.
It's out?
Ant-Man?
It is out, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been out for a few weeks. But so Emily is a big fan of the MCU. She doesn't read the comics or anything, but likes the movies and has seen all of them and tracks and has always tracked pretty well through the MCU. What I've come to learn is that the last several Marvel films have completely lost her. And I share that sentiment. I feel it's very
I've said this, yep.
It's just kind of gone off the map a little bit. We're off the rails. And I understand why people are losing a little bit of excitement, anticipation, love for the series as a whole. I find myself kind of wishing things were easier and more enjoyable.
I know you do.
Yeah.
I say this all the time. I speak a lot about the Infinity Saga and how it was grounded and very interconnected, interweaved, and from the ground of espionage with Captain America to the cosmic airways of Guardians of the Galaxy. It was still interconnected, right?
Yeah.
And now we just get a bunch of stories. And I appreciate it as a comic book reader because I know what I'm seeing. I know these characters. For the casual fan, they're just I don't know what is going on anymore.
Yes. It's when you have zero relatable or grounded characters, I feel as if you lose a large segment of your audience. Yeah. Because in the beginning, Iron Man, Captain America, even Thor to an extent. Yeah. These were characters that were relatable
Yes.
I feel like the situations and the scenarios were more grounded. And while there were obviously superhero things happening, I mean, even Thor was from another, planet altogether, world, right? So, but even that felt, I could track with it. It felt reasonable to me and it was enjoyable.
Right.
The Ant-Man thing was just, I didn't know what we were doing at any point in time. It's all over the place. Ant-Man also has no identity in the MCU as a whole. It feels like they're grasping from like all these other characters a little bit, which is a shame because I like Paul Rudd a lot.
Well, that's an interesting take, right? Because the Ant-Man that we are dealing with is the second iteration of Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Right? The comic book classic Ant-Man that everyone is used to is Michael Douglas's character. But they decided that character is attached to a lot of negative stigma because of the domestic abuse that happens in his story, a lot of the story arc.
I didn't know about that.
Oh, yeah.
Ant-Man's an abuser?
Yeah, he's a big abuser.
How so?
He's not a good person. He just like slaps up the wasp.
No kidding.
In like a comic book, like smacks her up.
Damn.
And like Marvel got like a lot of heat for that.
Really?
And so they kind of moved away from him.
Yeah, had to separate yourself.
And then, brought in Scott Lang.
Gotcha.
Which kind of works. And that's what we get this new iteration of Ant-Man, right?
Okay, yep. All right, I'm tracking.
So that's where the movies pick up. And, they very much softened. Because, in the comic books, like Hank Pym creates Ultron and like, so Marvel just kind of was like, yeah, we're just not gonna like even tackle any of that. We'll make him a background character and we'll run with this new iteration of Ant-Man and we'll just stick to the heist genre and go that route.
Okay.
And he, to your point, he doesn't really have an identity, right? He's just falls into this situation.
Yeah.
But he's a thief, so everything is about the heist, but you're not really invested. You have no investment, and outside of it just being fun and the visual effects being great, you don't really feel like there's anything there. It falls very flat.
I even thought I felt like the visual effects. Well, maybe not the visual.
Well,
effects.
in this one,
the lighting and the cinematography, I actually thought was pretty bad.
In this one,
I didn't. As a whole, I really was not impressed with much of what I saw in Quantumania. I felt like everything was super dark. We were in and out of like little worlds and scenarios that really had no context or explanation to them. I was very confused throughout the whole thing. Like, where were we in the relationship to like, I guess, like being shrunk down in the larger world?
We get here? Yeah.
I was really confused, like at times, like, are we in a different timeline altogether? Are we just like shrunken down? It was
in the scheme of it, there wasn't really any.
It was very weird.
Description, any narrative of what is happening and where we are.
Yeah, where we were.
We are just going to the quantum realm. And it's always been mentioned, but no one's ever talked about it in depth. Yeah. Right? And then like Kang just crash lands here? Like that didn't even make any. So did he like shrink down? Like nothing was ever flushed out.
Yeah, I felt like you spent the first, at least in my experience watching it, Emily and I spent the first 45 minutes trying to figure out
what's happening.
What had happened, how we got here, what was happening. And I feel as if eventually you disconnect from that a little and you just start to track with the larger kind of narrative from an enjoyment perspective. You're just trying to enjoy like the action sequences and where we're going. So I don't know. I felt like the reviews were pretty fair. I thought maybe in the beginning, I thought perhaps they were going to be a little harsh just because everybody kind of dogged it so much. But I felt like it was pretty fair. I felt like it was more of a miss than it was a hit. Couple of funny moments. It definitely does not land consistently with the comedy. I felt like the writing there was a little weak.
Yeah.
But yeah. And Kang, man, I think he does a really good job as like that character. I enjoy him. And I think he does. I think the acting is good. The performance is good.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not in love with the character, not yet. I find the whole how he got there, they didn't really cover that. There's one in, I guess, in every timeline or in every world. I felt like that was a little confusing and also not explained at all.
Still not fleshed out enough. Yeah.
Also feels as if this probably goes back to the comics. This is probably less a movie issue, but just like as a foundational thing. I don't really care for the idea that there's so many of them. It really makes him feel not that threatening in a way, because it's like or not that impactful, because they spend the whole movie trying to kill this one or trying to defeat this one.
And then you find out
like,
that
well, what does it really matter? There's so many of them. Like, there's tons of them.
In the whole, right, if we go back to Loki, what did he call himself? The one who remains or whatever.
Yeah.
Immortus. He's the one keeping the other Kangs at bay.
Yeah.
Right. And when he perishes, and then that final Kang, so I guess it's kind of like a domino effect. Mm-hmm. He perishes because he's protecting the timeline. There's no one to protect the timelines. And then the Kang that is in the quantum realm, apparently he's like the threat.
So he's just like the bad boy Kang.
Yeah.
He's the baddie. He wants to come rehab.
He wants to wreck shit. And then, so
I guess at some point, like, he comes out, he's going to be more of a menace. It doesn't mean that all the Kangs are bad. It just means that this one is bad.
No, they're supposed to all be bad.
But see how that's a little confusing and a little like not as fun.
It needs to be flushed out a little. We see how we got Thanos. It was flushed out.
He felt his introduction was a lot better. I felt he was a much more that was a much more menacing character, and I thought that was a villain that warranted the saga. Yeah. Right? Kang has yet to do that for me.
And if we are in a multiverse saga, why are we in the last leg of it just now getting our villain? You know, like
it would have been nice if we saw little bits and pieces of him here and there. I don't like the fact. So that goes back to the whole introduction of him piece. I don't care for how he was introduced. I thought what they did with Thanos was great. I don't like the fact that if he's supposed to be this villain that's going to span the next saga, I don't like how he kind of got beat up by Ant-Man. Like, Thanos, when you saw him,
the first time,
not to be messed with. And when he would do things here and there in movies, like you'd experience him, it was very clear that was like the Avengers stood no chance.
Yeah.
You felt that. And in this, it was kind of like, okay, well,
if Ant-Man
and his daughter are beating up on him,
why do we even need the Avengers? Yeah.
Yeah. It just feels like, all right, well, we get everybody together, and it seems like this isn't going to be that big of a deal.
Like, you know, are we going to fight 50 of these people at some point? Like, it's not really, and I get it. I get into these theory pages on Reddit and insider things, and you know, they kind of describe like how the story is going to be molded, but I don't know, man. I think Jonathan Majors might even drop that bag. They might just do away with Kang altogether. Now that essentially you could really just kind of say it's over.
I'd rather just see a villain that was more like, I enjoy the mastermind style villain. Thanos was kind of pulling the strings from above, and you really don't get to battle him and see him in his fullest form until you start getting into
when we saw him
in
Infinity War.
Yes.
And he flapjacked the Hulk. We were like, oh shit.
That felt like the appropriate build up to who he was. Whereas this, I feel like I saw what he can do.
It's not that threatening.
In Ant-Man Quantumania, he's not as intimidating to me anymore.
It's not adding up. Yeah.
It doesn't build. I don't know how they do that. Anyway, neither here nor there. Any other TV shows? Any other movies you saw?
Did I tell you I saw Super Mario?
No, we did not. You did not tell me that.
I took Clark.
You might have texted me that actually. Now I think
I texted you. We didn't talk about it on the show. Yeah. I took Clark and Quinn to see Super Mario. I absolutely loved it.
Great.
I thought they did a very good job at incorporating all of the pieces of the Mario lore into one kind of congruent story. Mm-hmm. I thought the story was kind of, we talked briefly about it when Isaiah was here the last time. He was like, it was kind of mid. I expected it for it to be a mid story for a 10-year-old who doesn't have the lore invested.
Correct.
In, right?
Yeah.
So like in that beginning sequence when they're running to get to the job and then it goes into a 2D.
Yes.
Right. I was like, oh, okay. I see what's gonna.
Yes.
I see how they're gonna do this. Right. Like that was awesome for me. Clark loved it. She's in love with Princess Peach.
Yeah.
So like anytime Princess Peach was like on screen, she's just like standing up in her chair. Mm-hmm. Quinn, not so much. I don't think she really likes the movies. Like she just was terrible the whole time.
Yeah.
But
what's the age?
She's 3. She just.
That's a little young. Though,
yeah.
Right?
I don't think she's. Yeah. Clark is 5. Like she was turned
sense.
up. Like she was turned up and like yeah, let's fucking do this.
Yeah, I thought it was very good.
Yeah. I enjoyed it, man. You got Donkey Kong and Kong Island and
yep.
They do the thing in movies, especially video game movies, where they take one element that's probably a repetitive thing in the game and then make it kind of like a special thing in the movie, right? Like we did it with Sonic. It was the ring, right? He ended up losing all of them and had one left, right? In Super Mario, it was the star, right? And then we don't see what the star does. We know what the star does, but we don't know what it's going to do in the dynamic of this movie.
Yes,
until
correct.
the end, and then they get the star and they beat Bowser, and I just felt like it was just done very well. Like I was
correct, yeah.
They made the joke about the accent and his voice, and he's like, is the accent too much? It's a me, Mario.
Yeah.
And he's like,
I thought he did a good job.
I was fine with it, man. I thought it was dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure why so many people got worked up about that. I never quite got it. After having seen it, for sure.
I know, I think I know where we are right now. Critics, because we're going back to the movies, are actually trying to criticize the movies, right? They're trying to be these full-fledged variety pieces about movies that are just supposed to be fun, right? Like we're not supposed to get a think piece about Super Mario. We're just supposed to get a good animated movie, right? And it incorporated everything from the raccoon suit to the fireballs to like how the world is done and just all of it, right? And Bowser being infatuated with Princess Peach is why he is trying to like marry her and kidnap her, which you never really get that. You never really get that broken down to you in the game. Like, why is he kidnapping? So they took the opportunity with the movie to say
kind of build that out,
to flush that out for us. So I was fine with it, man. I don't know. I think it might have been a little more gratifying for adults and optically pleasing for children. Sure. That's my take on it.
Yeah, I thought it was a big win, all things considered.
Yeah, I loved it, man. It was good.
Any other movies on your watch list?
What else did I see? Started Bourne Ultimatum. What I got, Josh? Josh writing a paper.
You went way back. Dude.
Yeah.
You added John Mulaney.
Oh my God.
Just now.
Oh yeah, I watched that.
Baby J. Yo. First of all, I love John Mulaney. He's one of my favorites.
He's great.
And, he recently went through, a really tough addiction period.
Yeah.
And that's what this stand-up is about. And he really just, no holds barred, is able to just give us his first-person view of, like, him going through, like, his addiction phase and, like, rehab and, like, bouncing back. And he's able to, have that humility and, like, really talk about it. I think my favorite part was, and he was like, I was high on cocaine and I found my SNL badge and I went to the studio and I said, I need a haircut.
Ma'am.
And he demanded that they cut his hair. Oh man. There was so many different puns in the stand-up where he just landed it. He executed it just very well, man.
It kind of took a little bit of a, not a dive in the reviews, but it has not fared as well as his other
I don't know.
specials. It was not, Emily and I also watched that one. I did not find it as it wasn't as funny, in my opinion. I felt like it was more him kind of just telling us his experience through rehab, which is there's funny elements to the story.
It's a dark story though. It's a very, very dark.
Yeah.
There's very, very dark concepts in it.
Yes.
And if you're not comfortable, it's a thing where I don't want you to laugh at me. I want you to laugh with me as I kind of talk about my demons. And if you're not really comfortable with this type of context, I totally understand why people would be like, because like one of my boys, my man Torian was like, you would like this dark ass stand up. I was like, yeah, it's less definitely like my humor.
Bits. It's less bits. It's more of like, let me tell you the story of my rehab
and how I got back on my feet
through a comedic lens.
Yeah. When he says, I was skinny on cocaine and I had just got my hair cut and I was the best looking person at my intervention.
Yes, at my intervention, yes.
I appreciate him being able to just open up about it. That's my type of humor. I love dark humor.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it felt very similar. It reminded me of like a Dave Chappelle, where Dave Chappelle's at now. Where like Dave Chappelle kind of comes out and just tells you like a story, and aspects of it might just be more like informative. Yeah. Not as
we
funny.
talked about this.
And then there's more of like a wave to it, right? Where you get like,
where Chris Rock was doing like bits and Chappelle has kind of moved away from the bits. Yeah. Intertwined the jokes into storytelling. Yes. And I think that's where a lot of stand-up comedians are gravitating to kind of nail home a lot of their points, right? Versus
it's a higher level, I feel like, of
storytelling,
of the comedy thing. It's much harder to probably do that.
I believe so. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really hoping that he releases a few specials though over the course of like the next, year and a half. I'm wondering if he will. I'm wondering if this is just like a
test the waters.
It really was all about. I felt like the bulk of it was really about the rehab thing, and I felt like there's so many other aspects, like his whole divorce, and he has a kid now. Like there's all these things that he never even touches on.
Oh yeah, he doesn't talk about the divorce. He like just pops up with a baby with Olivia Munn.
Yeah, like very briefly mentions the baby. Kid, so I feel like there's so much other material out there that he has to have multiple like episodes or multiple like hours. Like
how did he land Olivia Munn?
I would love to know how that all came together.
Yeah.
And that's weird because like, I guess he's in rehab, so it is what it is. But like I follow him on social media and stuff like that. Yeah. And it's just like one day they just like popped up
with the kid. I
don't even know how that all connects.
Chicks dig guys that are good for him. Funny and got personality, so I get it. But that's just like there was never like any word of them like dating or anything.
Yeah.
And then like all of a sudden, boom.
It felt fast.
He got Olivia Munn as his baby mother.
Yeah.
Which I know. This probably was like a bucket list for hundreds of men, millions of men out here.
Hundreds of men. And 105. Maybe.
1-200.
Chanel and I tried to do Way of the Water, and we got through it.
Oh, no shit. You did watch that.
Yeah, we got through it.
I keep seeing it. It's the first thing that pops up. Like when I turn on Apple TV. Way of the Water, that chick's face.
I hated it.
And man, I don't know what it's gonna take for me.
Way too long, man. Way too long. I think I fell asleep for like 30 minutes of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, God, this has to be almost over. And it was still 2.5 hours left. And I just jumped right back in.
That means you were 30 minutes in and you felt like it was too long. I think it's like 3:10 or 3:11.
Yeah, man, it was really, really long. I appreciate the visual effects. I felt like the story again was just like it was the same story, just in a different setting.
Yeah, but it's one of those things, again, it's more about the experience of it than I think the story.
I watched it on Apple TV. Matter of fact, I watched it on Plex. Thanks, Josh.
But was it?
It's definitely there legally.
Visually, is it like does it feel reminiscent of the first? Like you feel like, oh wow, those look cool. Or does it feel very like, I've seen this before?
It requires the theater experience. And because I didn't see
breaks down at home.
Yeah, once you watch it at home, like we got like a setup like this at home, you know, TV on the wall, and like, you know, you can kind of like the mini theater experience is what I would call it, surround sound. So like if you turn off all the lights and you get, you know, cozy,
you get real close to the screen,
right, then you get a semi theater experience.
Hell yeah.
But like we were watching it, we had it on like during the day in the background, moving and like watching it
the way you're supposed to experience movie like that,
and it wasn't,
amongst other things.
It just, I don't know, man. At one point I was really locked in for like an hour and 20 minutes. I was just like,
this is the best movie I've ever seen.
And then I snapped to it. I was like, this shit is terrible. I was like, nah, man, this is not it. It literally was the same movie, just done in a different setting. I think what's the next one? They're gonna go to the skies and it's gonna be sky avatars or fire avatars.
I think there's like a fire avatar.
Yeah, like
something. It's like Pokemon.
Yeah, you're just gonna find different types of avatar people, and then the colonizers are gonna come back as those type of avatar, and then we do this song and dance over and over again. Like, when does the lore part of it kick in? You know what I mean? Like I
don't know if that exists.
I appreciate the new characters. Like there was Colonel, I don't remember his name, some Colonel whatever, his son, right? Which was strange because they never really you haven't seen it yet, right?
I've not seen the sequel.
Okay,
no.
Then I won't go into depth. I'll wait for you to
save me
to see it.
Save me the 3 hours.
There was some plot holes in it that didn't live up. I was kind of like, this is just, they just kind of like brushed through it, and then I'm like, what? Like,
so I feel like you've watched quite a few things since I last saw you.
Yeah, I did, man. What else I got on here? Born. I watched the Chris Evans got a new movie on Netflix, Ghosted.
I've seen the ads for it. Have not seen the movie.
It's a dark rom-com because it's pretty violent, and it's kind of more of like a fish out of water story for him because he's not the action guy in it.
Okay,
he's dating a spy, and you get Anthony Mackie pops up, Sebastian Stan pops up, so you get some Ryan Reynolds. You get cameos from all those people. Okay. And surprisingly, it was on Apple TV, so it's still, I was surprised at how violent it was for Apple TV.
It's an Apple TV movie.
Yeah.
It's not a Netflix thing.
No. It's an Apple TV original or whatever they call it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was cool. I mean, it's fine.
All right, I'll check it out.
NBA playoffs. I'm a big Laker fan, man. We made it to the second round.
Didn't watch that.
Playing Golden State, a revisit from the 2016 finals. So a lot of legacy there. And LeBron's a Laker, so he's got his Lakers on the West Coast playing against Steph Curry in Golden State again. So I've been tuning into that. And then, we had NFL draft and a lot of, NFL news and stuff. So, we can talk about that later or we can talk about it now. So it's up to you. You want to go through your watch list?
Let's see. I did Yellowjackets.
That did come back, right? Yeah.
Did you watch season 1?
Passively.
It's an odd show to be passive about.
Well, Chanel would watch it, and then I would just kind of tap in.
It's a dark show.
We both work from home. We have an overlap of work from home.
Do you guys watch shows at night? Like when it's the two of you and you're like downtime?
We have our things to watch at night together, and then
what are those things?
Like Ghosted was like one of those things.
I feel like you watch a lot of things while doing other things. I was trying to figure out how you determine what you're going to dedicate your time to at night.
Like box office stuff is like we'll wait for each other. Okay. Or like shows that we're definitely like Snowfall, we were in tune together. Like we would watch that together.
So that's an example.
We watched Swarm together.
So she watched Yellowjackets. Yeah. You caught some of it.
Yeah.
Passively on the side. Okay. Yeah. And she's watching season 2 now.
I don't know. I haven't seen her watching any TV without me. So I hope she's okay.
I hope she's okay too.
I hope she's just not watching TV with me because she's doing me a favor.
I dedicated some time to that, getting caught up. I've probably like, I don't know. We watched like 5 episodes of the last like week or so on that. It's a pretty long show. I think we touched on the movies that we saw. I think that's probably about it, man. Been doing 90 days.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's back. Yeah.
That's been back.
Yeah.
I got 2 90 days on right now, to be honest. 90 Days in Paradise. And then 90 Days the other way.
Oh, we've been
because there's always one on, and now they're getting ready
Yeah.
to end. I think 90 Days the other way, so they've already transitioned into 90 Days in Paradise. So got that just cooking, dude. But yeah,
my trash TV we've been tuned into, and Chanel and I watched this together. Love After Lockup, which I feel like is total inverse from 90 Days.
no, I know we've talked about this many times,
and it's just super trash. Like 90 Days is trash, bro. This is river trash.
Yeah,
trash bags hung on sticks, stuck in the mud.
Yeah.
Just blowing in the wind.
Hell yeah, dude.
Super trashy.
I still haven't even finished Mandalorian.
Oh, finish it, man. That last
I'm
episode was
sleeping
really
on
good.
that. The last episode I saw was one with
Lizzo.
Jack Black. Yeah. And that one was just weird.
It was very weird. And
I felt like this season was, I think I'm only back behind one episode.
yeah, get to that season finale.
I feel like this was a very weird season of Mandalorian. I did not enjoy it
Really?
as a whole. I don't think so.
Okay.
The other two were better. I like a little bit more of a cohesive story, like season.
Yeah.
I felt like this one was kind of all over the place.
It definitely was. Yeah.
And it just took I know that there were some like overarching concepts that they were kind of trying to tie together. I think they're trying to set up a bigger situation.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
But there were episodes where Emily and I were like, I don't really know what we just saw. Like, I don't know what
it was a lot of
how that fits into
filler
this.
with action. It was, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
The episodes weren't really like connecting, but they were with the underlying tone.
Yeah.
But they just kind of confused us because
You had to like really be
Yeah.
you had to be really dialed into some of like the more like nuanced aspects of earlier seasons. And if you're not really paying that close attention, you kind of miss out on some of it.
This season was for people who have been watching it.
Yes.
Like if you haven't been watching it,
But it's a little frustrating because they left all this space between season 2 and season 3. This is an issue that I've talked about a lot.
You hate the gap.
I hate the big gaps. They're doing these things or they create these huge gaps in between seasons now. And then they expect me to just be able to like pick up on the smallest details.
The Michael Strahans, yeah.
Can't do it, dude. You got to get your shit together. I'm over it.
Josh got it.
I did not get it.
He's got a big gap in his mouth. Yeah.
Idiots.
Michael Strahan.
Michael Strahan.
Which my Michael Strahan sounds just like my my tithe. I might tithe and I take a bite out of you.
Oh man.
What you listening to over there, Josh?
The trailer for the new Ultimatum.
Oh, hell yeah. That's worth it.
I popped an earbud in.
That's worth the watch, though.
Oh, that, yeah.
The new Ultimatum's coming out the end of May 30th. I was a little bummed. I thought it was April 30th. I don't even know if there's 30 days in April, but I saw the trailer for it a while ago and I was like, oh man, they must be dropping this right after Love is Blind's ending. This is going to be great. And no, got like a month to wait on that. Yeah. Ultimatum, I thought was like the best of all of those.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Out of all of it's the most aggressive and it's the most like brutal.
Yes. Yes.
And
I'm really looking forward to this.
It's the most, it is the most unhealthy scenario to throw somebody into.
Of course, absolutely. Yeah.
So therefore the most enjoyable. I'm really not sure why there's been so much downtime in between seasons. This isn't really even, I feel like, a true successor to the first season because it's like explicit, like I think it even has a different name. It's like, isn't it like Ultimatum something like
the Ultimatum : Queer Love?
Yeah.
And the Lachey's are not back.
Yeah. So I feel like it's like a separate.
Is there like, are they like?
As I'm saying, I feel like it's like it's almost being treated like a branch off of the Ultimatum or something.
Yeah, like a spinoff.
Yeah, which I don't get because I don't know. They're treating it like it's different or something. But in either case, very excited for it.
That's what Isaiah sent, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Did you watch the trailer?
Oh, I don't want to I don't want to dig myself.
There's a little sound bite halfway through it. She goes, I don't know. I mean, I'm really into her, but I'm also really into her girlfriend.
Oh my God.
Hell yeah, dude.
so assy.
Classic.
If it's messy like that, it'll definitely get some burn in my house. Like,
it's gonna.
It looks like it will,
dude.
Yeah.
The first one was messy.
yeah, I remember
The first one was real
yeah.
messy.
Yeah.
So good though.
And this is a predominantly female cast
Yes.
also.
So there's no.
Is it not all
males.
female? I thought maybe it was all female.
Well, I'm just reading the Wikipedia here
okay.
because I don't know how they identify.
Yeah.
Right?
Great.
But I can just quote Wikipedia here and I can't be canceled for that. So
You cannot just read. If you just read stuff.
You're stating,
Yeah, right.
You're just stating
and
facts.
there's a citation too, Us Weekly. So it's really
Oh, it's
Sarah
really Us.
Donnellan's
Yeah.
fault.
Just
for Us
stating
Weekly.
facts.
Yeah, you know.
Yep. I read them as I sees them, you know?
Hell yeah, man.
That's how you feel right now about that is how I felt reading the Miss Marvel comments. Like I wanted to say it, but I was like, it will not get a soundbite of me reading back any of that nonsense. Like, I didn't say it last week, but there was like a black chick, a white girl, and a South Asian lady walk into a bar, and I like left it at that. I was like, nah. I was like, nope, not doing that. Oh man, Lamar got his money.
So dumb.
That he did.
Guys, I think it's so dumb. I think when he started playing these games back in, when was it? December? November,
Yeah.
December?
I feel like it's been a while, yeah.
Should have just been like Dunzo.
We had the opportunity to walk away from it.
He keeps playing games and then give in.
I think he knew the whole time he was going to sign. I don't appreciate the lack of professionalism around it.
Yes.
Right? Like, I don't like how he did it. I don't like how Aaron Rodgers did it.
It's a different day and age, though, in the NFL. And that's, I think, what's the most frustrating about it. It's very counterculture to what we are familiar with.
Yes.
From a, like, player, team, relationship, contract negotiation, agent, like, thing. It's just different. It's all very, like,
I don't like being privy
not
to
new
it.
age, but it is what it is. And you can tell, like, the Ravens are trying to be, I think they're highly regarded in the, like, industry or whatever.
Yeah, of like doing good business.
Yeah, so I think they're trying to like uphold that as much as they can.
I feel like they got bullied
It's
into it.
very hard when you have, I think, Lamar on the other end, who's just running circles around you from a PR perspective.
With no agent and posting on Twitter.
Yeah,
like,
he's like what? He's like 22.
Yeah,
so
and it's just not.
I mean, he's doing things on social media that are like way over my head, dude. I don't even know what we're doing. So I feel bad for the Ravens organization. I don't even know how they navigate that situation.
But highest paid player per year ever, right?
That is, I think,
or highest paid player right now,
but not necessarily. So, like in theory, if Mahomes were to have like stellar years every year,
it would be him then.
I think technically then Mahomes would make more money because Mahomes' contract it's $500 million, I think, something. It's over 10 years. I think it's a longer contract. But I think with like the bonuses and all that, like I think if he continues to perform like he does, I would think he would probably net more. Lamar's, I think, is just the highest guaranteed.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Lamar is the highest quarterback, it looks like.
Because he beats
over
out
3
Hurts.
years, right. Correct.
Based
Jalen
on
Hurts signed a $51 million contract.
Yeah. 251 or 50. What did you
50 says 51, according to ESPN.
Per year?
Per highest 3-year APY.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I was like, he definitely got more than
Yeah.
All right.
And he's, again, according to ESPN, he's number 3 total guaranteed money. Deshaun Watson has a 4-year contract that he got $230 for.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
He's number 1, and then Kyler Murray is at 189.5.
Yeah, and I feel like it's also, again, with quarterbacks getting paid as much as they are, I feel like that's also a new thing too. Like it's also a new reality that we're kind of waking into a little bit.
Yeah.
But
I mean, on one hand, it makes me proud to see the quarterback position being upheld by, so many black quarterbacks and getting paid and like changing the game. I just don't like how he handled it. And that's just me personally. Like, I just wish he kind of like, you don't gotta do all that.
He's getting the best sick pay of anybody ever.
That PTO was bussing. That's bussing. You know what I mean? But, we'll see how it goes. I mean, as a Ravens, now taking a step back as a Ravens fan, I am all right. We did good in the draft. We got Lamar. That's Eric DeCosta's problem now. We got OBJ. Yeah, all right, let's have some fun.
I do think that this is the year. I'm excited because I do feel like this is the year where you cannot make any more excuses. Like, I feel like Lamar really is going to be front and center. You cannot complain about wide receivers.
You got multiple weapons.
You cannot complain about contracts.
Nope. There's nothing.
Just everything you have wanted, you've gotten.
We got the trainer out of there.
Yes.
We got a new offensive coordinator. Yes. We literally rebuilt the house for you.
Correct.
So
that is, yes. The Ravens have basically given you everything. So you kind of have to show up at this point. And you have to like put it down to an extent.
You got to lay it down, bro.
That's my opinion. So I'm very much looking forward to this season. I hope that, I hope that's what happens.
Yeah. I hope we get to watch some games.
The excuse for so long has been, no wide receivers, doesn't have the contract, doesn't,
how does he play with no contract? We don't have to worry about
doesn't feel valued or whatever.
I think the only thing now is, just how this wide receiver core works out, like who's going to be the number one. And, is Odell going to do the 30-year-old thing where he does like load management and we rely heavy on Bateman and Flowers? Well, no, we'll see, man. But we got a lot of good guys, man.
I'm just glad my jersey's gonna hold up for another few years.
That's why I didn't buy one. That's why I didn't buy one. You bought one. I was like, I don't know.
I bought one.
I was like, I'm not doing it. I got one now.
I have never had a Ravens jersey. Never owned one. And then Lamar was a fun player to watch. Everybody was hyped up. 2019 was like a glorious year.
Yeah.
And I was like, hell yeah, dude. Getting a jersey.
You got to see, you took the bait.
This is the year,
took
dude.
the bait.
And so I locked in, and I'm feeling pretty good about my investment right about now. So
good for you, man. Yeah, I think as a Ravens fan, you got to go legacy. Like I got a Ray Lewis.
I thought you were like I got a Ray Rice one.
Oh no!
I wear it all the time.
I was trying to get a pun there. I don't want to touch that.
Yeah, it would be fun to have some legacy jerseys. I'm sure I could track down some old school
Justin
ones,
Tucker.
Justin Tucker is a safe one.
Yeah, it's a safe one.
It's a safe one. Yes.
You
guys better go. Mom's some.
You can even do Flacco. You know what I'm saying? He won us the Super Bowl. So
Flacco.
The Flacco one would be nice. I feel like those are a little bit more manageable. I could probably track one of those down.
Yeah, you can still.
You still get one of those on the Ravens Ravens store? Can you still buy like old team? Because you got to be able to get a Ray Lewis one from the Ravens store.
Yeah, but there's the Ravens sports memorabilia store on Ricestown Road, Owens Mills, right next to the Tesla dealership.
Yeah.
We should do a field trip if you want to go. I've gotten a couple t-shirts.
You're saying they have like older stuff.
They have fucking everything. Everything.
The NFL only sells current.
These guys got every
jerseys.
Bro. You can get goddamn Desmond Howard if you want.
Is it like authentic stuff or is this like the reprints?
Nah, they got everything. Literally everything. Bobbleheads.
You're paying like top dollar? It's like vintage?
Nah.
Okay.
It's just like a sports memorabilia store.
All right. Fair enough. Let's go check it out. I did not know this.
Next time Josh needs to get a tune-up. I don't even know.
I got an Orioles hoodie.
I don't even oil changed.
What do you all right, let me ask you. What do you get done for your Tesla maintenance if you got to go to the dealership?
It's washer fluid.
Brake pads.
Washer fluid?
Brake pads.
Okay.
Brake fluid whenever that needs to be flushed.
Right.
And then the battery.
And battery coolant every 8 to 10 years.
And this takes like 14 minutes.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's pretty quick. But now I will say that I have had the computer replaced twice.
Oh, no.
So that's not ideal. Once was like it was a free upgrade.
Okay.
And then that one went bad like
Shit
3 weeks
fried.
before my warranty was
pulled
up.
It out
so
with tweezers and it was smoking.
Yeah, right. Found the magic smoke. Took a shit ton of liquid damage pictures first though.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's been pretty good.
Okay.
But yeah, there's no regular maintenance really.
Good for you.
And the brake pads don't wear because I don't use the brakes. So
At all?
not very rarely. I just let the engine, regenerative braking.
Just let me know before you drive down my street. I'll get my kids back in the house. Speaking of Patrick Mahomes, did you hear about his brother?
Sounds like a setup to a joke.
No, this is not. This is very bad news.
I don't really track with Mahomes' brother.
Well, it's like it's like
Does anyone besides you?
no, I don't at all. It's like national news because he got locked up for sexual assault.
Oh, that was went dark. Yeah.
Yeah,
Reel it in.
I was trying to prepare you guys. Apparently, he like did something really bad at a club, and I'm learning that there are. So he's like a big TikTok person. Like
No,
he's not an athlete.
I'm going to preface this whole conversation.
You know nothing about it.
I don't
couldn't even tell you what his
know
first name is,
dude.
right?
You can put him in a lineup in my life on the line. You just have to kill me.
He's a shitty individual. I'll just start there. He's nothing like
But
Patrick.
what is his name? He doesn't. You don't even know his name. Good.
I just know him as Patrick Mahomes' brother.
Oh man,
I think that was the headline that I got to my phone.
I feel
Patrick
like this
Mahomes'
isn't even going
brother.
as well as you hoped it would.
What's his name?
Jackson.
Jackson.
Jackson Mahomes.
That's a dickhead name.
Yep.
That's a
Arrested on suspicion of aggravated sexual battery.
yeah.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
Wow.
In a club,
Wow.
The talk is my
and
sports.
he's a big boy.
Nah, he's
I
Mahomes
thought you
isn't
said
a
he was a
big
big
guy.
dude.
Nah, Mahomes isn't really a big guy. He's about 6'4".
Big guy. All right.
He's 22 years old, if
Yeah.
that makes anything.
Oh, he's a young buck.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Related
He's
to an
wild
incident on
now.
February 25th.
Yeah.
It's recent.
So he's like big on TikTok. There was like the things people were like, on the internet talking about how he's always on the sidelines, like doing the TikTok dances and like he had like a dance off, I think with like Juju Smith-Schuster or whatever. But the talk is he's a shitty 22-year-old and
a serial
he runs
predator.
around Kansas City like he owns the place, like he's banned from the bars and
yeah, he would. I feel like he would.
Welcome to Towson.
Yeah. Imagine if Lamar Jackson had like a little brother who was just terrorizing Towson.
Does he not?
I don't think so. I wouldn't be surprised. If
It wouldn't be terrorizing Towson though. He'd be terrorizing.
Green Turtles and Owens Mills.
Oh, I guess where is Patrick Mahomes from? I'm doing this wrong. I'm doing this backwards.
Kansas City, I think, because his father played for Kansas.
Oh, well, if that's the case, then
Or
it makes sense.
Texas,
Makes
I
sense that his
think.
brother
He
would be running
was
around.
born in Tyler, Texas.
Texas.
All right,
Texas.
so-
And he played for Texas Tech.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So his brother moved with him
Oh, yeah.
to Kansas City.
Yeah. And I don't. They're not too far.
Are we sure Mahomes doesn't live in Texas like
He might.
full time? I feel like he's trying to save on them taxes, dude.
They don't do income tax, right?
That's what I'm saying. He's got to be there 6 months a year.
I seen an article about that, about money in Texas, lasting longer because
I mean, that's why Lamar is in Florida for 6 months.
maybe we need to uproot and go to.
No, it looks like he lives in Kansas City.
Damn. Good for him.
All right, maybe he's got two houses.
All right.
Sorry. Inside, this is from the New York Post.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes is quietly building a multi-million-dollar real estate empire in Texas.
He's got to be.
2 homes are in Missouri. 1 is a vacant plot.
Yeah, but he's got to be.
Yep.
He's got to be filing stuff through Texas.
Has to. No income tax. Those
Yes.
check, that direct deposit has his
Saving
address
so
in Texas.
much money, but he's got to spend 6 months of the year and 6 months in a day in Texas.
Well, that's the off season.
Oh, I know.
No,
In
yeah.
December 2017, Mahomes purchased his first home, a 2-bedroom, 3-bath condo in Kansas City, for which he paid $125,000 less than the initial asking price. Originally listed for $475,000, Mahomes was able to buy the 1,800 square foot pad for $350,000. It's estimated to be worth $500,000 today.
That's nice.
So it seems like he's just got a small spot in Kansas that he's crashing at.
Because he got a kid and a wife now. So
Because we're talking about Patrick Mahomes, and he's living in a $350,000, 1,800 square
I
foot.
can't imagine Kansas City being
Spot.
like that popping of like a.
In January 2019, He bought another home in Kansas City, 1.8 million, 3-bedroom, 4-bath.
So
That's closer to
spanning
what I'm
over
thinking.
4,300 square feet. The property is situated on
that's the
1.4
big boy.
acres
There
of
we go.
land.
That's the big boy.
That's also in Kansas City.
So he's probably got the apartment where his brother's terrorizing ladies.
All the local bars,
yeah,
right?
in the bars. And then he's going home to the house or he stays there. I have heard of like Ravens having apartments and condos down in like Harbor East.
Sure.
Like, you know, they stay there before games and just travel over.
Guys, I'm really digging deep into this Mahomes thing. He owns
bad.
3 homes in Kansas City.
Okay, now
In 2020, he bought a vacant land of 8 acres, about an hour and a half from Kansas City, and built a home on it.
He's about to make a strip mall.
And then he bought a home in Westlake, Texas, $3.37 million.
Got $500 million.
There you go.
He hasn't even cracked 20. Buying all these homes, man.
He's doing all right. He's doing all right, all things considered.
I thought they were my homes. They're his homes.
There we go.
There it is. There it is.
Oh, man.
Man, how about this
Anyway.
Elijah Craig, though, huh?
It's
talk about it? A little spicy?
It's a little beating me up a
Was
little
that
bit.
your Bill Cosby impersonation?
No, never mind. my Bill Cosby impersonation. Never mind.
No.
Keep us from getting kicked.
It's a little spicy.
It is. It's a little
spicy.
heavy. It's a little
Yeah.
heavy. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't like the weight of it.
I want some more though.
You don't like the weight of it.
You top me off.
Did you watch the Dune 2 trailer?
I did. That cinematography is just
Rewarding.
beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
I'm watching it like I remember, and we talked about this. I'm watching Dune, just it's not pulling anything out of me. But I'm watching this like this is some of the most beautiful stuff I've ever seen.
It's really unfortunate. I feel bad for you.
I was hoping for more action, I guess. So I'm
It's
hoping
the first trailer.
Yeah.
So we'll get another, obviously. And it's the whole movie
you.
was shot in IMAX.
Let's go.
I'm
Which
sorry, what are we talking about?
Dune
I
2.
feel
Dune,
is
got it.
I feel like that's a worthy reason. No, I mean, I saw Dune 1 in theaters. So, I mean, I'm definitely going to see Dune 2. But if the whole thing is shot in IMAX, gotta go.
I mean,
Gotta catch it. in
we're at the
IMAX.
point now where you can just go to the movies again. You know,
Yes.
like kid movies come out, just take the kids.
Oh, yeah, tomorrow. Or not, yeah, tomorrow at midnight, I guess, right?
Yeah, I'm going to see Guardians tomorrow.
Guardians.
You
You're
guys
going
want-
tomorrow.
You want to go?
Tonight? Tomorrow
Tomorrow
at
night.
night.
Nick at night.
Tomorrow at night. Tomorrow
Wait,
night.
is it Friday morning?
No, it's just
Or
Thursday.
Thursday morning.
It comes out
night.
Thursday night.
Okay, all right.
You having a stroke? You all right?
It comes out Thursday night. Thursday night,
Thursday
midnight,
morning?
right? So Friday morning.
I think they do late showings on Thursday though.
Okay,
yeah.
Can't you go at like a 9 o'clock or something?
You can go at 7:30, 3:30 if you want.
Yeah, they rolled it out, I think, earlier.
All right, okay.
So yeah, I'll probably
Fine.
go to Cinemark tomorrow.
Towson.
Yeah,
They'll be over there at Towson.
yeah, do the late show.
Towson.
Trying to find a snack.
Hopefully, they
Trying to find an employee to help you.
to help me pay for my drink.
Take my money.
So if you boys want to join, you remember my friend Derek? He's came to a few of your parties.
Sure.
So usually him and I go to the Marvel releases. So we'll do Towson. It's cool. We can get a drink and nice pretzel bites,
I'll be at the 3:00 standard showing.
bright and early. What is it, like 2:54? I think the runtime is, or something like that.
2:30.
2:30.
I think it's the longest Guardians. Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a long one. My boy Callan, comic book group, book club guy, he said he saw it already.
What time are you going? And do you have tickets already, or do you just show up?
I just show
to
up,
this?
man. I just look on Fandango and just see what's available. And then I'm just like, all right, we're going to go at this time. Meet me there. And we'll get there. So
All right.
I'll let you boys know what time we
It
roll
looks
out.
like 10:30 is going to be the prime showing.
Okay.
10:30 p.m.
Yeah. They've got them throughout the day.
Yeah,
but
it's a lot of seats.
But the 10:30 is the XD Real D 3D Reserve.
All right.
It's in 3D.
There is 3D shows.
Craig is beating you up, man.
I don't want 3 dimensions. Can't I just watch it?
Okay, all right. So I saw Super Mario in IMAX,
but was it in 3D?
No, it wasn't in 3D. And that's the first movie I've seen in IMAX in a while because I'm like, I'm not paying another $5 just for an extra 3 feet of screen.
Okay, so there's a big issue here amongst like all this
The movie people?
conversation, and that is the IMAX that you're experiencing at like the Cinemark or that you're experiencing at the White Marsh or whatever.
Yeah.
They're IMAX certified screens. They're not actual IMAX screens.
I saw it's a fraud.
So it 100% is a fraud.
So where do I go see the real IMAX?
It's an issue. There really isn't
museum?
anywhere
Science
local.
Center.
I was at the museum.
There really isn't anywhere local, unfortunately. They have in the past done movies at the Baltimore Science Center.
Yeah, I
has
remember
a
that.
legitimate
IMAX where it's
theater.
like all the way
Yes.
to your top. Yeah.
And they have done some movies there in the past. They have not in several years. I do not know why. I want to say the last thing that they did there was maybe like The Dark Knight. I have seen some movies there, but they have really stopped that. There is an IMAX theater in DC. There's a couple of them. There's one at the Air and Space Museum down there, which is where I saw Interstellar in IMAX. That was a super rad experience.
So that Owings Mills AMC that has that whole side with the IMAX is not
Correct.
IMAX.
No.
Fraud.
So
It's IMAX like certified, and the screens might be bigger or might be like
They're
the
just
right
bigger
format,
screens. They're not like IMAX.
but it's not
though.
like a genuine like IMAX theater. There is like a real IMAX theater that has like an actual 70 millimeter like print and projector and like a whole thing.
now I'll say though, on IMAX's website, it lists the AMC Owings Mills,
Yes.
the AMC White Marsh, and the AMC Columbia,
Yes.
in addition to the Science Center.
Yes.
And they also say that the White Marsh one has a laser IMAX projector, which the other ones do not have.
So I gotta go to White Marsh.
And the only reason I'm bringing this up is because I'm wondering
If you can get
if it's
meatballs.
on their website and they don't differentiate that and the Science Center. What is the? I mean,
So, if you really want to know, if you really want to track with it, generally speaking, when a movie comes out that is like done in a legitimate way. So, for example, Christopher Nolan will do this with his movies. Oppenheimer, he'll do it for sure.
That's still not out
You
yet.
will go. No, it comes out in I think July or the end of June. But he will have a website that will tell you where to go
Where
see
to watch
it.
his movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there will be basically it'll differentiate all of those things for you. So for example, if it is shot in IMAX and it's shot on 70 millimeter film,
Yes.
you want to watch it on a 70 millimeter projector
Yes.
on an IMAX screen that's designed for 70 millimeter film. And there are very few IMAX theaters. That's like a true IMAX experience. Very few of those screens in theaters actually exist. But he will show you, if you want to go see it like that, you can go to the website, say, I want to see it like this, and put in your zip code, and it'll tell you the nearest one to go see it to see it in that basically experience.
Good for you, Nolan.
Or and then you can like scale back, right? If you want to do like the other experiences, and he'll have like IMAX laser or IMAX like 35 or whatever.
Oh, so he does his research.
So you can pick basically like the lesser of the qualities that you go to. Obviously, it opens up. There's more availability and there's more options out there. So
Okay.
there's like, generally speaking, they will do some kind of like site where you can filter down and get
Right,
the
got it.
true kind of
Got it.
true IMAX experience if you want that.
Got it.
But anyway,
I was saying
I
White
digress.
Marsh because then we can go to Best Buy and get meatballs.
Best Buy?
Not Best Buy.
You mean IKEA?
IKEA. I said Best Buy. Yeah, IKEA.
I was like, damn, dude, Best Buy's really changed the game lately. It's been a while since I've been there.
Yeah.
All right, you got anything else that you want to run down on? You want to talk about?
I mean, I could talk all day.
I know
talk
you
all
can.
night.
I know you can.
But no, man, as far as like the pop culture movie world, I think we've run the gamut. Let me look at the watch list.
We'll have a tighter episode next week. We'll get some of this together.
I think we just wanted to like get together and
We'll shoot the shit for a little bit.
yeah, and let the people know we didn't forget about them. You know what I'm saying? You were traveling a little bit, and we had busy weeks.
Yeah.
No Isaiah this week.
Who?
That's right.
Elijah Craig. Yeah, man, I got nothing.
Well, until episode 56, then we'll call it a wrap.
Hasta la vista.
That's right, baby.